this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Today's video is showing you what I'm working on. Currently, I'll keep adding to it until we have like a huge mosaic of the movement of everybody using 3D Studio Max. I even have the time code so the sun's in the right position. I'm using spheres to represent people. And then I also have these SUV police type vehicles used to indicate where there are vehicles parked. All right, so I have it starting at 6:05, and this is the time where Thomas Crooks was observed at the bench, and then he heads towards going back around where he eventually climbed up. And after driving around for a little bit, I think he gets a call where he then turns around and heads back towards the fairgrounds and the AGR building. Specifically, he goes back behind the water tower because he hears that something's going on. All right, so this picks it up at looks like 6:05, and now it's at 6 seconds. Okay, so what we have on 3D Studio Max, if we go back to the beginning, right around this time is 6:05, and right there he's at the picnic table where he then can go around the side. Now I think this is exactly what he did. Now I think he kind of like hung out back here for a while to see if anybody followed him or was watching him, and then eventually he jumps up onto the roof over here. Okay, now at 6:05 and 59 seconds, the police vehicle is getting closer, the one that actually has the guy that climbed up on the roof and then dropped down after he saw him. He drives up here. So if you take a look at this, and you can see it actually passes a little bit, and then it has to back up and then take a left down this road like this. And then it kind of stops in this area right there. Then after that, it pulls up next to the other vehicle and they spot. Now look at Crooks is up there running on the roof, just like they say. They say, oh, see the guy running on the roof? And then that's when this officer took off and he parked right there. Now I'm guessing at what this car does, but eventually it's parked in the third slot over at an angle. So it came in like this, and then this officer walked around by the side of the building, and then he walks around like this, and he's looking up there, and then eventually he darts back this direction and then goes up, and he's lifted up onto the AGR building roof. Then he drops down, and this is right when Crooks then starts making a move and kind of moves over to where he ends up shooting near the ridge. And as this guy is walking around out here, he's trying to look for him, and then gunshots fire right at this point, and then he turns around, runs back, gets his assault weapon or AR-15 type weapon out of the vehicle here, tactical weapon, and then eventually at certain times moves over, and he's over here. I don't go all the way to the point where he goes on the roof. That's not really that relevant. The part that seems relevant seems to be like what's going on and where were they while Crooks was moving around. Okay, so if you just kind of watch it in fast motion, it looks like this. And there's Crooks on the roof, and they were over there way before any shooting happened. So if you take a look at this, what we were just looking at is, so let's go 59 seconds, and this is right when it drives down right by the water tower. But let me show you right before that. It's driving in this direction. That's when it's backing up. So here we go. I guess I need to back it up a little bit more right there. So when you see the vehicle driving right here, it passes. It's supposed to turn where that sign was on the left. And then when it gets here, it backs up. The vehicle does. And actually goes into the other lane even. That's how I have it. And then pulls forward. And then takes a left down this road. Now I don't put all the acceleration and stuff like that in it. I just put the vehicle representing where it's going. And then it drives down here And what the video will have in it will be the animation on the left and then the videos representing what it's doing on the right, so you can follow it. And it'll be really close to what it's doing, so you'll at least be able to see on a map where the vehicles are and the people. So notice how it stopped. Someone's on the roof. All right, then he pulls up next to him. And when they say somebody's on the roof, that's when he's kind of standing still, but now he's starting to run right about now.
What's up, man? I was on the roof with white shorts. See that dude running?
Yeah, and then see, right there you can see the AGR building that Crooks ends up being on. And had this vehicle been turned to the right another 40 degrees or so, you probably would have been able to see him running on it. Now, I even went back just prior to this. So if you go back in this general area, you can see the roof. And now it looked like that back there, there's these little things standing up, but that's not Crooks. So right there is the sort of bridge area. It's very small, but it's right down in there. And I couldn't see anybody jumping at that point. But you can hear them talking. And so right around after the guy says, hey, there's somebody running on the roof, the vehicle takes off and heads
What's
over.
What's up, man? I was on the roof with white shorts. See that dude running?
All right, then he takes off. Now, see how there's 3 SUVs over there? Pretty sure they're all police vehicles. One's probably unmarked. But it goes right through there. And then it parks right by the park bench there. And then he gets out and he walks right towards the building. And that's just how I have it. So if you go back and watch my animation and see the cars pull up, and then look, he gets out and he runs right by the corner of the building, and then he kind of goes around over to here, and then he walks back kind of over by the tree line, and he's trying to get a better look, and then he takes off running this direction, and he meets up with the other officer that he was parked next to back out to the right there when they said, hey, there's somebody on the roof running. And that's the guy, I believe, who helps him get up onto the roof at that bridge area. And at that point, Crooks is right here where that red dot is. Maybe a little bit more to the right. Okay. So if we were to go back to this video, we can watch that. So he goes out and then he kind of goes at an angle, getting a little bit more distance from the building. He's looking around, comes out, and then he sort of goes over in this direction. And I matched it all up with the time on the the camera's time on there, and then I matched it up with the frames in 3D Studio Max. And there he is standing right here, kind of looking around. Doesn't really make a huge movement anywhere, so I don't think I represented that. And I just have a sphere. I don't put where he's looking, etc. I'm just showing you where his physical body is. And then he makes his way further out by the trees. This is where David was, the guy that got that really good video. And then in a moment here, he starts heading back. And then he starts running, though, when he gets right to the corner of the building. So he's walking, looking, and then right around here he starts kind of jogging. And I think that's the other guy that drove that vehicle that you see right there. And he's going to help him up onto the roof. It's also possible that guy was driving the unmarked vehicle. And then he lifts him up onto the roof. And then he drops back down, and then you see him running back out. And he goes right back behind his vehicle, and he says he's lying down, And that's exactly what I have going on right here. So see, he's walking around, then he goes back here and he's lifted up. Then he comes back out and look, he runs right behind his vehicle, which is right there. And he's saying he's lying down, he's lying down. And then he runs over here. And then right when he turns around, boom, that's when the first gunshot happened. So that's how close Crooks was to him at that point. Let's go back to here. And see he's running. Come towards the trees. That David guy is running over there. And he's looking, trying to find him. He knows exactly where he was because he was just up there and he saw him. So right at that point, you could hear the 10th and final gunshot. So you could actually hear them all pretty easily right there.
Don't pull up your head, he's right there!
Yeah, so graphically, from the top, it would look like this. So we'll just do it again. There's Crooks going up behind there. A sniper spotted him here. So I'm going to put all these things in there. I'm going to have a sniper right here watching him do that. Then I think he kind of hides back here for a little bit. And then around like 8:06 he goes up onto the roof. So about right there is when he's climbing up. But I have the camera pan down to pick up the vehicle that's driving with the cop that actually goes up on the roof. And then it drives up, stops, backs up, makes its way onto the side road there, then turns, and then it does stop right here for a moment. Then right here, the vehicle stops. Now they're both watching Crooks running on the roof, and they say, see that guy? And then they take off. Boom! So if we go back to Adobe Premiere, let's see what time that was when they both took off. He was about to pull up next to the vehicle. See, this is what's so stunning about all this. See, right now it is 6:08 and 32 seconds.
What's up, man?
They already know there's somebody on the roof right there. Like that guy says, wow, there's somebody on the roof. So that is 3 minutes before any gunshots happen. 6:08 and 35 seconds right here. That first shot was at 6:11 and 32 seconds. All right, so we know that, and we go back to 3D Studio Max again. Here's where the cops are together talking. Then they're driving, they're seeing him. Then he kind of goes down. I think he's on the little bridge area. Then he goes up on the roof. Then these guys, instead of going right there originally, you know, trying to confront him directly, they go walking around over here where everybody else is saying, hey, there's somebody on the roof, there's somebody on the roof. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Then they go back here, and then they say, okay, let's go up there. But at this point, you're getting way late in the game. So let's move it forward here. You're over here. Now let's just move it all the way till they're about to start running back behind the building. So it's right in this time frame. This is 6:10 and 20 seconds. All right, so he gets right to this corner at 6:10 and 26 seconds, 27, and then gets lifted up on the roof. He's back here. This is 1 minute before the first shot right here. So they've had plenty of time to be telling people and letting people know. And then he gets lifted up. All right, so 6:10 and 54 seconds, he sees Crooks on the roof. You still have 38 seconds at this point before the first gunshot, right? Then he drops down and he's saying stuff in his mic. You see it. And I think this is about the time the individual, the officer from the Butler Command Center is walking out, and he starts running because he's hearing some of this broadcast here. And then obviously we have the gunshots that happen. Now he just kind of, after he gets his tactical weapon, he kind of hangs out over in this general area for a while, and then eventually somebody lets him up on the roof. But that part isn't what I'm focusing in on. I'm focusing in on the movements of the vehicles and the different officers moving around during and just before the shooting, and sort of during the shooting and just after it. I mean, it just seems amazing that there's so many people moving around and looking. There were a whole bunch of other officers even around on the other side of the building. We just don't have their body camera footage at this point. Okay? So anyways, I'm putting this all together. I'm going to try to make it where it's really easy to look at, rewatch, and just kind of see the movements and everything. But I hope you guys will find it interesting. I'm just kind of letting you know where I'm at currently in the process. I think I'll make a video where I put the other officer who's walking underneath the water tower and he makes his way to the building. I'll probably put him in there on the next video. But this video, or in the video that I put out probably tomorrow, but this video right here is just showing you what I'm doing, and I hope you guys will find it interesting, all right? So make sure to hit that subscribe button and be notified when I put that next video out, okay? So again, thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Again, thanks for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.